Our survival is based on electronics, basically. These electronics are threatened by things like electromagnetic pulses, which can be generated by natural sources such as solar storms or by artificial sources such as high-altitude EMPs. And this could disrupt the entire internet, shut down the entire internet, damage most electronics. So, other than Faraday cages, is DARPA working or thinking of doing a program to deal with this kind of issue?
It's a really good question, a very timely question. We do not have a program in this area, but it's a very fruitful topic for research to understand how to make electronics that's less sensitive. By the way, you mentioned Faraday cages. That's a perfectly good way of ensuring that your device is more tolerant of EMP pulses. But another one comes back to the thing we were talking about some time ago, wide bandgap semiconductors.
Okay.
Because their ruggedness, their ability to tolerate an EMP pulse is likely to be much, much higher. So I don't think that we're going to see a world in which the state-of-the-art Intel microprocessor is going to be done in gallium nitride or gallium arsenide or any such material. That's probably too far out. But critical pieces of electronics may be where you're particularly concerned about EMP. There may be opportunities there. So in answer to your question, we really don't have, there's not any specific program that I can point to today, but that's something that we hope could change in the near future.
Now, what kind of far-out ideas is DARPA looking at, which are too wild or too unprofitable for the commercial sector?
So I find that a lot of what we do in MTO falls into one of two camps. Either it's a problem, like many of the ones we've been talking about, security, that is very mainstream. You know, it applies to automobile companies as well as to defense companies or to the Department of Defense. There are other things that DARPA cares about that probably are not that generalizable. They're more specific. And yet, some of these things that seem very unique end up being game-changing. I'm thinking right now, there's a lot of work in our office in positioning, navigation, and timing, PNT it's usually called. So for lack of a better term, think GPS.
Mm-hmm.
GPS itself, however, was a technology that DARPA helped develop that was never intended to be commercial, never thought of in terms of its commercial benefits. It was about doing positioning of mobile platforms anywhere in the world, identifying where you were without having a compass and a complex means of triangulating where you were. And we've all seen where that's led. So there are programs in the office now. Think of it, if you want next generation of PNT, developing better clocks, for example. Those could be potentially of great value commercially in the future in a variety of different ways. But we're really more focused on the defense applications at the moment.